The story begins in the heart of a sprawling shopping mall, alive with the chaotic energy of a weekend crowd. Holiday decorations dangle from the ceiling, casting colorful reflections on the polished floors, while the hum of chatter, laughter, and distant Christmas music fills the air. Among the sea of shoppers, a young mother, Sarah, grips her 6-year-old son Liam's small hand tightly as they step through the sliding glass doors. Liam, dressed in a bright red hoodie with his favorite cartoon character emblazoned across the back, bounces with excitement, his wide eyes darting from one dazzling storefront to another. Sarah, though mindful of the bustling crowd, allows herself a small smile at his enthusiasm. She's been promising this trip for weeks, just the two of them, a rare day out together. As they weave through the throng of people, Sarah's grip loosens slightly, her attention momentarily snagged by a notification buzzing in her pocket. She hesitates, pulling out her phone just long enough to glance at the screen. A reminder, a text, something trivial. But in that split second, Liam tugs free, drawn toward a vibrant toy store display just a few feet away. A group of rowdy teenagers suddenly cuts between them, laughing loudly, their backpacks bumping into shoulders as they pass. By the time they've moved on, Sarah looks up, expecting to see Liam right where she left him. But the space beside her is empty. Her breath catches. Liam? Her voice is calm at first, just a mother's routine check. But when there's no response, no small hand slipping back into hers, her pulse quickens. She spins in place, scanning the crowd, her eyes skipping over faces, searching for that flash of red. The mall, so full of life just seconds ago, suddenly feels vast, labyrinthine. Every stranger a potential threat, every shadow a hiding place. And just like that, the nightmare begins. This opening scene sets the stage for the chilling mystery to come, establishing the normalcy before the sudden, terrifying rupture. The crowded mall, a place meant for joy and leisure, becomes a hunting ground in an instant. Would you like to explore the next scene with the same depth? The moment Sarah's grip loosens, Liam's attention locks onto the toy store display like a magnet. A towering arrangement of action figures, blinking robots, and a looping animated promo lights up his wide, eager eyes. The colors are brighter here, the sounds more exciting. A mechanical roar from a dinosaur exhibit, the cheerful jingle of a nearby arcade. For a 6-year-old, it's pure magic. He doesn't mean to wander far, just a step or two, close enough to press his small hands against the glass, fogging it with his breath as he takes in the wonders inside. A superhero with glowing armor catches his attention, and he turns, half expecting his mom to be right behind him, ready to laugh and point with him. But she's not there. For the first time, the noise of the mall shifts around him, no longer exciting, but overwhelming. The crowd swells, voices blending into a meaningless roar. A group of teenagers brushes past, their loud jokes and backpacks bumping him slightly, making him step back. He blinks, suddenly unsure. Mom? His voice is small, lost under the mall's noise. He turns in a slow circle, scanning for her familiar face, her coat, her hand reaching for him. But all he sees are strangers. Shoppers walking briskly, families chatting, no one noticing the little boy in the red hoodie standing alone. His chest tightens. His fingers curl into the fabric of his sleeves. He knows he's supposed to stay put if he gets lost, but the toy store entrance is right there, and maybe, just maybe, she went inside to look for him. He takes one hesitant step forward, and that's when the shadow falls across him, not from the overhead lights, but from someone standing just a little too close. A figure in a hoodie, face half hidden, but smiling in a way that's meant to be friendly. "Hey, buddy," the voice says, too smooth, too practiced. "You looking for your mom?" Liam hesitates. He knows about strangers, but the man points toward the store, says something about a woman in a blue coat, and just like that, the decision is made. The crowd swallows them both, and in the span of a breath, Liam is gone. This scene tightens the noose of suspense, showing how easily a child can slip away and how quickly the wrong person can step in. Would you like to continue with the next pivotal moment? The mall's security cameras tell the story in cold, time-stamped fragments, a sequence of events that unfold with horrifying efficiency. At the exact moment Sarah looks up from her phone, her son is already moving, a small figure in a red hoodie drifting toward the toy store entrance. His steps are hesitant at first, his head turning left and right as he searches for his mother. The crowd pulses around him, a current of oblivious shoppers pushing carts, checking phones, laughing with friends. No one notices the boy standing alone. No one sees the moment his expression shifts from confusion to quiet panic. Then the figure appears. A man, or perhaps a woman, the footage is too grainy to tell, steps into frame, their face obscured by a hood or a hat. They move with purpose, angling their body to block Liam from the main thoroughfare. The stranger says something, gestures toward a different aisle, and Liam, trusting as only a child can be, takes a step forward. The next few seconds play out like a nightmare in slow motion. The stranger's hand closes around Liam's wrist, not roughly, but with a firmness that leaves no room for protest. Liam doesn't scream. He doesn't struggle. Maybe he's too scared. Maybe he's been told his mom is waiting just around the corner. The cameras catch a final glimpse of them turning down a less crowded hallway, one usually reserved for staff, before they vanish from view entirely. Back in the main atrium, Sarah's voice rises above the din, sharp with fear. Liam! Liam! Shoppers turn, some annoyed, some concerned, but no one connects her cries to the little boy who was just led away. By the time mall security arrives, by the time anyone thinks to check the cameras, the trail is already cold. 90 seconds. That's all it took. This scene is the heart of the horror, the moment when a normal day twists into something unthinkable. The pacing is deliberate, each second stretching out to emphasize how quickly a child can disappear, even in a place full of people. Would you like to explore the aftermath next? The first scream rips through the mall like a siren, raw, primal, a sound no mother should ever have to make. Liam! Sarah's voice cracks as she whirls in frantic circles, her hands outstretched as if she might somehow pull her son back from thin air. Shoppers pause mid-step, their expressions shifting from annoyance to concern as they take in the wild terror in her eyes. A teenage cashier abandons her register, rushing forward. Are you okay? What's wrong? My son. He was right here. Sarah's words come in jagged bursts as she grabs the girl's arm. 6 years old, red hoodie, he's gone. The mall transforms in an instant. What was once a backdrop of cheerful chaos becomes a hunting ground. Store employees spill onto the concourse calling Liam's name. A security guard radios for backup, his voice tight with urgency. Someone thinks they saw a little boy near the food court. Another swears he was heading toward the carousel. Every lead is a flicker of hope, until it isn't. Security footage is pulled, the grainy images confirming the worst. Liam didn't wander off. He was taken. The video shows the moment the stranger leads him away, their bodies swallowed by a service corridor not covered by cameras. The timestamp mocks them. 1:32 p.m., barely a minute and a half since Sarah last held his hand. Police arrive, their radios crackling as they fan out through exits, now locked down too late. K9 units sniff Liam's abandoned jacket, their handlers grim-faced as the dogs pick up a trail that dies at a loading dock door. The scent lingers on the asphalt outside before vanishing entirely, as if Liam evaporated into the afternoon air. Through it all, Sarah stands frozen at the epicenter of the storm, her arms wrapped around herself like she's holding together the pieces of a shattered world. The same question pulses through her mind, louder than the sirens, the shouts, the static-filled radios. How could he disappear in plain sight? This scene plunges us into the visceral horror of a child's disappearance, the way ordinary people rally to help, the crushing realization that time is slipping away, and the unbearable truth that evil can hide in the busiest of places. Would you like to continue with the investigation's grim discoveries? The security office feels claustrophobic, the air thick with tension and the sterile glow of surveillance monitors. Sarah sits hunched forward, her nails digging into her palms as detectives replay the footage again and again. Each loop is a fresh wound. There's Liam, her sweet, trusting boy, stepping just out of reach. There's the figure, moving like a shadow, sliding into frame with practiced ease. Then, the moment that stops her heart. The stranger bends slightly, saying something the cameras can't pick up. Liam tilts his head, his small face caught between hesitation and hope. And then, he takes their hand. He goes willingly. A whimper escapes Sarah's throat. This wasn't a grab, a struggle, a snatched child kicking and screaming. This was quieter, more insidious. The way Liam follows, the way he doesn't look back, it suggests something far more horrifying than a random abduction. He thought he was safe. The detective pauses the footage, zooming in on the blurred face of the stranger. Does this person look familiar to you? Even slightly? Sarah shakes her head, her vision swimming. But then, a flicker. Something about the way the stranger moves. The tilt of their head. A gesture that feels known, like a half-remembered ghost from the edges of their lives. A neighbor? A distant relative? Someone who'd been watching, waiting, earning Liam's trust, while Sarah never even noticed. The police exchange glances. This changes everything. It's no longer a search for a missing child. It's a hunt for someone who planned this, someone who might still be close. And worst of all, the terrible question that claws at Sarah's sanity. How long had they been waiting? This scene twists the knife, revealing that the most terrifying abductions aren't the chaotic ones, but the ones orchestrated by patience and predation. Would you like to delve into the aftermath, the theories, the dead ends, the haunting not knowing? Days bleed into weeks, then months. The mall reopens, the crowds return, and life moves on, for everyone except Sarah. The posters come first. Liam's face, frozen in a school photo from happier times, plastered on every store window, lamppost, and bulletin board. His smile haunts the places he should have grown out of. The toy store replaces its display, the carousel plays its same tinny music, but the boy in the red hoodie is nowhere to be found. The police chase shadows. A blurry gas station sighting 2 towns over. A frantic 911 call about a crying child in a parked van. Turns out to be someone else's son. The detectives grow quieter, their updates vaguer, until the case file sinks to the bottom of an active but cold pile. Online, the theories flourish like weeds. True crime forums dissect the footage frame by frame. Was it a custody grab by an estranged relative? A human trafficking ring operating in broad daylight? Or something darker? A stranger who'd been studying Liam for weeks, learning his routines, his favorite toys, the exact moment his mother would look away. Sarah stops sleeping. She memorizes the faces of every parent at the playground, wondering if one of them knows something. She jumps at every phone call, every knock at the door. The worst moments are the quiet ones, when she catches herself almost calling his name for dinner, or when she passes his room and sees the superhero bedspread still rumpled from the last morning he woke up in it. Years later, the mall installs a new security system. The old cameras are replaced, the footage wiped or lost. Liam's case becomes local legend, a cautionary tale parents whisper to their kids before heading out shopping. Stay close, hold my hand, don't talk to strangers. But no one ever finds the red hoodie. No one ever finds him. And somewhere between the last grainy frame of footage and the endless stretch of unanswered questions, Liam becomes more than a missing boy. He becomes a ghost story, a what if, a wound that never heals. This final scene lingers in the haunting space between resolution and endless doubt, where the not knowing is its own kind of torture. The mystery remains deliberately unresolved, leaving readers with that visceral chill of real-life disappearances, where answers are rare and closure is never guaranteed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.